Imagine this scene. It's late at night. You're lying in your warm bed, the lights are off, the room is quiet and cozy, you're just about to drift into that sweet, heavy sleep, and suddenly, bam, a lightning bolt of memory hits you with crystal clear detail. You're right back there. At that company party 3 years ago when you told what you thought was a hilarious joke, and the whole room went dead silent. Or the time in university when you stood up at the board, opened your mouth, and your mind went completely blank. Or that message you sent to the wrong person at 2 a.m. after a glass of wine. Or the moment you tripped on nothing in front of everyone at an important event. Your heart starts racing. Your face burns even in the dark. You toss and turn under the blanket, desperately trying to push the memory away, but it keeps coming back sharper and more painful than ever, even though years have passed. Why? Why does the brain cling so tightly to our most awkward, most embarrassing, most cringeworthy moments, while happy memories fade so quickly? Today we're going to explore this topic deeply, honestly, and thoroughly. We'll talk about evolution, how the brain works, the chemistry of emotions, psychological mechanisms, and most importantly, what you can do right now to loosen the grip of these memories and finally feel lighter. I promise. By the end of this video, you will look at your eternal embarrassing memories with completely different eyes. You'll feel relief, understanding, and even a little gratitude toward your own brain. Let's start with the most important idea that will immediately take a huge weight off your shoulders. Your brain is not your enemy. It is not a bully waking up at night just to torment you. Quite the opposite. Your brain loves you deeply and is trying to protect you using the best survival software it developed over hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. These intrusive, embarrassing memories are not punishment. They are an ancient safety system that once literally saved our ancestors' lives. 50 to 70,000 years ago, our ancestors lived in small, tight-knit tribes of 30 to 50 people. In that world, reputation and social acceptance were literally a matter of life and death. If you repeatedly broke the rules, showed unreliability, or irritated the group, you could be cast out. And exile in those times almost always meant a slow and painful death, cold, hunger, predators, rival groups. Without fire, protection, or shared knowledge, a human alone had almost no chance. That's why natural selection strongly favored people whose brains were extremely sensitive to any signal of social threat. A sideways glance, whispering behind your back, sudden silence after your words, laughter at the wrong moment. Those who didn't pick up these signals strongly enough simply didn't pass on their genes. Every one of us is a descendant of the most socially paranoid humans in history. That is why today, when you say something awkward in a meeting or remember an old mistake, your brain reacts almost as strongly as if you were being banished from the tribe and left to die. When an embarrassing situation happens, a real chemical storm erupts in the brain. The amygdala, the ancient fear center, and screams, "Danger, social rejection, record with maximum priority." It forces the hippocampus, which forms long-term memories, to work overtime. At the same time, stress hormones, cortisol and noradrenaline, flood the system. These chemicals act like super glue for memory. They make emotionally charged events stick far more strongly than neutral ones. Scientists call this emotional tagging. The stronger the emotion, especially shame, fear of rejection, or humiliation, the brighter and more permanent the tag. That's why you can forget what you ate for breakfast 2 weeks ago, but still remember every facial expression when you said something stupid in a meeting in 2022. On top of that, we have another ancient mechanism, negativity bias. The brain evolved to notice and remember threats better than pleasant things. It's safer to overreact to a stick thinking it's a snake than to miss a real snake and die. That's why negative, embarrassing memories have priority access to your awareness. Now let's talk about the famous spotlight effect, first studied in detail by psychologist Thomas Gilovich and his team at Cornell University in 2000. The idea is simple. We think other people notice and remember our mistakes far more than they actually do. When we do something awkward, we feel like we're standing on a huge stage under a blinding spotlight while the entire audience is staring at us and judging every move. In one classic experiment, students were asked to wear a bright, very uncool t-shirt featuring Barry Manilow and walk into a room full of strangers. The students who wore the embarrassing shirt believed that nearly 50 to 60% of people noticed it. The real number? Only about 23%. We systematically overestimate how much attention others pay to our blunders, often by 2 to 5 times. Think about how many times you've tortured yourself with the thought, "Everyone still remembers when I embarrassed myself." In reality, 99.9% of people are busy living their own lives and worrying about their own cringy moments. We all carry our secret list of embarrassing memories. You are not alone. It's especially interesting why these memories attack us most often in the evening or in the middle of the night when we're trying to sleep. During the day, the prefrontal cortex, our rational thinking and self-control center, works at full power and successfully suppresses unnecessary anxious thoughts. But when we lie down to sleep, that area gradually powers down. Meanwhile, the default mode network, the network responsible for thinking about ourselves, the past, the future, and social relationships, becomes highly active. In the silence and darkness, the brain finally gets the chance to process unresolved emotional files, and which files are the hottest. Of course, the ones tagged social threat. That's why at 11:47 p.m. or 3:12 a.m., you suddenly relive that time in 10th grade when you said something stupid in literature class or the awkward joke you made at a friend's birthday 5 years ago. When the memory surfaces, the brain doesn't just show it launches full analysis mode, rumination. It replays the scene from every angle. What if I had said this instead? Why did I do that? How can I fix it now? What did people think? This is actually an adaptive learning mechanism. The brain wants you to extract the lesson and avoid similar social danger in the future. In that sense, it acts like a very caring but sometimes overly strict teacher. The only problem is that in the modern world, this ancient system works too hard and too often. It doesn't distinguish between a small awkward moment at a meeting and real danger of being exiled from the tribe, so it keeps running in high alert mode even when there is no real threat anymore. But here is the very good and inspiring news. Memory is not a static photograph or a fixed file. Memory is plastic. Every time we recall an event, we slightly change it. Scientists call this process memory reconsolidation. They discovered that after each recall, there is a window of time, roughly a few hours, during which we can change the emotional coloring of the memory. If during recall we add new emotions, humor, self-compassion, acceptance, understanding, the brain gradually updates the old file and makes it less painful. Over time, the intensity fades. Many people say years later, I remember it was embarrassing, but now I smile and feel grateful because that moment taught me so much. Now comes the most practical and valuable part. Here are 8 proven techniques that really help weaken the power of these memories. I'll explain each one in detail with examples so you can start using them today. Technique 1. Affect labeling. When the memory appears, simply name the emotion out loud or silently. I am feeling strong shame and awkwardness right now because of that situation in 2021. This is normal. This is just my brain's old protection program. Research shows that naming the emotion alone reduces amygdala activity by 30 to 50%. Technique 2. Self-compassion. Ask yourself, what would I say to my best friend if they told me exactly the same story? We are incredibly kind to our friends and cruel to ourselves. Switch that kind voice to yourself. Say, my friend, you're a normal human being. Everyone makes mistakes. You are no longer the person who made that mistake. I love and accept you. Technique 3. Time travel reframing. Imagine yourself 5 or 10 years from now. How do you feel about that event now? Most likely you laugh about it and tell it as a funny story. Start feeling that lightness today. Technique 4. Evidence journal. Take your phone or a piece of paper and honestly answer, what real evidence do I have that people still think about this moment? The list is usually empty or very short. This powerfully breaks the spotlight effect illusion. Technique 5. Physical discharge. When the memory hits and your body tenses up, stand up, do 20 squats, shake your arms, go to the balcony, take a cold shower. Show your body that you are safe. The body thinks you are in danger. Give it proof that you are not. Technique 6. Completed lessons. File. Create a special note titled, Cringe Moments That Made Me Better. Write down each moment with the lesson learned. Over time, this list becomes powerful evidence of your growth. Technique 7. Letter from future self. Write a short letter from yourself 10 years in the future describing how you have completely outgrown that moment and are even grateful for it. Technique 8. Daily acceptance practice. Every evening before bed, say to yourself, I accept all my past versions. I was a person who was learning. I am still learning. I am safe. I am loved. I am okay. To wrap up this long and honest conversation, the next time one of those memories visits you in the middle of the night or during the day, instead of the usual shame and self-criticism, try saying something like, hello, old memory. I see you. Thank you, dear brain, for still trying so hard to protect me, but it is 2026 now. I am completely safe. I am surrounded by people who accept me. That moment no longer has power over me. I have grown. I have become better. And I am grateful for the lesson. That moment stayed in your memory not because you are a special failure, And not because everyone else is still laughing at you or judging you. It stayed because your brain loves you very much and once wanted desperately for you to survive, learn, and become better. You survived, you learned, you became better, and now you can finally release that old burden with sincere gratitude and a gentle smile. Good night, my friend. May your dreams be light and kind. May your memories be gentle and supportive. You are completely okay. Everything is okay. You are a wonderful human being who is simply learning how to live. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you feel lighter, leave a like or write in the comments, anonymously of course, your most eternal cringe moment. We are all in the same boat, and together it is definitely easier. You are not alone. You are safe, and you are already on the path to greater peace with yourself.